Hello, Guido van Stijn. Nice to have you in this AMA. Please introduce yourself first.
Yeah, thanks, Diana. I'm the CEO of Aurus. I joined the company together with my partner Dan Carnot, who's the CTO of the company, when we set it up in 2018. I have quite a long background in precious metals and mining, which started already 15 years ago. After mining, I set up a big European brokerage firm related to precious metals trading and vaulting services in London and Switzerland, which was eventually sold. We operated in like 8 countries, serves like 20,000 different customers in the physical trade. After that, did first interaction with blockchain was on a structured finance project we did with a Dutch bank and the pension fund, and then we started Aurus, and this is still what I'm doing at the moment.
Cool, and the numbers are really promising. They're huge. That's really great.
Yeah.
So how is Aurus different compared to other similar projects, and what are the reasons that someone would choose Aurus over other precious metal-backed digital asset providers?
Well, first of all, Aurus wasn't set up as a precious metals token project by itself. So we don't mint anything. We actually set it up to empower the precious metals industry. From my experience working with a lot of brokers, precious metals brokers, there was already an interest in captivating this new market, but the knowledge wasn't there. The tech knowledge wasn't there. How to enter this market, the high startups cost also related to front running of liquidity, exchange listings, etc. So that's why we decided to build Aurus. So there are already various gold-backed tokens out there in the market, and tokenization itself, for instance, making a gold-backed token is not super difficult or super sexy as a whole. The fundamental flaw of most centralized projects out there is the single point of failure, meaning the company itself issues the tokens and is the custodian also of the underlying metal. So the token investor must still trust that the company holds the correct quantity of the metals in relation to the token supply. And this defeats the reason investing in the precious metals in the first place, because you have to have peace of mind and financial stability. Where Aurus does it differently is that we have a network of providers globally, from major players like StoneX to big precious metal brokers like AK Bullion, and they actually allocate the metals, not only gold, because we also have the first silver-backed token and platinum-backed token, whereas the silver-backed one is trading as we speak on CEX. So the whole ecosystem there is completely different, and it de-risks the factor of single point of failure because the network is globally. So in that fact, we also embrace the essence of DeFi, where we created this decentralized ecosystem, a global network of independent brokerages and businesses that all play together a part in this tokenization. So they can provide the metals, they can store the metals, they can be a distributor of the metals, whatever they want to choose. So at no point is the Aurus Association itself holding any of these metals. We are the global advocate for the brand. This way, investors are not subject to this single point of failure. In fact, the Aurus ecosystem was designed to be completely self-sustaining, so that even if Aurus, the company, would fail to exist, the tokens and the project will live on, and just like a gold bar or a silver bar would in the world.
Thank you. It's really exciting. I like the idea that it is not only for big players who are in this sphere, but also for those who are just newbies, but they're interested in DeFi and they can touch this great ecosystem. Cool. So Aurus already has partners in significant territories. What are the plans for global expansion?
Yeah, that's definitely correct. We have quite a big network of partners to say in that, and that's also because we cannot get the backing of the industry. So if you look at our board of directors, containing Jason Toussaint, who is the ex-CEO of Spider, which is the biggest gold fund in the world, and the ex-CEO of the Gold Council. Grant, who was formerly Asahi Refining Services. Tony, the former executive director of Baird & Co., the biggest refinery in the UK. So all these, this network of team members we have and board that we have opened the doors to this precious metal world for us. It's a small world. There are not a lot of big players, and most of these big players are already on board with Aurus, and definitely with regards to the V2 expansion. So if you're looking in South America, we have now big partners in place. We have storage facilities in Montreal and Canada. In London, of course, our home market, our home territory, we have a big broker there and vaults with Brinks. In Turkey, we work together with Bursa Istanbul, the biggest storage facility in the country, and with Aga Bullion, one of the biggest brokers in Turkey. Turkey is a super interesting market, being one of the biggest gold markets globally, but also current inflation numbers and the devaluation of the Turkish lira makes a product like Aurus, either gold, silver, a mega interesting play over there. And we're currently in talks for expanding in the following territories. I'm currently residing in Dubai because we want to set up shop here also. Dubai being the hub between the African countries, but also the Southeast Asian countries, which are typically very important traditional markets for precious metals. Singapore, we already have signed a partner, which will start trading shortly. And of course, in the Netherlands in Q1, the biggest broker there will start going live. And after that, Germany, which is Europe's biggest market. Expansion involves a lot of strategic decisions making, and therefore it can be a time-consuming process, because we need to onboard right partners who shares the same vision and understands what we hope to achieve. And also the onboarding of partners is a compliance technical aspect also, because all partners need to be thoroughly KYC'd, AML'd, and the facilities where they store their metals needs to be audited also, of course. So we have big plans for global expansion, not just adding more brokers and distribution partners. Also, with the launch of V2, we will have more DEX strategies, decentralized finance strategies for different regions. We have local hub system and initiatives where local exchanges will handle clearing and settlement, because if you go to a country like Chile or Turkey, a client there wants to onboard or on-ramp and off-ramp in its own native currency. Not everybody wants to trade USD Tether or the dollar itself. Besides that, we have a lot of cross-border opportunities for the system we put in place now with the new app, but also the new POS terminal that will be launched quite shortly.
Thank you. We'll talk about the app as well a little bit later. So you have pretty ambitious plan. That's really cool. Let all of them be successful for you. What solutions does Aurus offer, and what are the use cases that Aurus provides?
Well, Aurus provides solutions to real-world problems that the traditional precious metals industry encounters. It counters these problems on both sides, not only for the consumer's perspective, but definitely for the business perspective. The main benefits for a retail client can be the fractional ownership. You decide the amount that you have to purchase in gold and silver. For instance, if you go for gold and you want to buy a small amount in the traditional market, going for a small denomination bar or coin will have a giant markup in price. With Aurus, that's not the case. Even if you buy a gram, it's actually at spot pricing. For silver, it's even more interesting, because normally silver is VAT charged, which means you have quite a heavy premium that you need to pay if you want to have it physical. Also, selling physical bullion again is quite a nifty process nowadays, with all AML and KYC in place, also with these bigger brokers. The other big point that's important for a retail customer. This is instant settlement and transferability globally, instantly. If I want to send some grams to my buddy in Singapore, I can do it now on our new scaling solution within seconds at minimal costs. There are super low fees for vaulting the metals, which is actually offset for gold, and for silver and platinum they're quite low, which you can offset in the future by joining DeFi pools. There's no restriction for logistics because we don't have to do it. If you want to redeem the physical bullion by itself, you can go to your local broker, because our local hub system. You can go to AKA or Direct Bullion and say, hey, I have my AWG and I want this bar. Actually, our big partner AKA Bullion, they're gonna open their shop AKA Gulce very shortly, where you actually can purchase all their beautiful precious metal products like gold bars, gold coins with AWG, which is very, very cool. I just had a meeting with Sharp, their CEO, this afternoon. You can use Aurus 24/7, which is also not the case with the traditional markets. You cannot go to a bullion shop down the road and at night or in the morning and buy some gold or sell it. With Aurus, you can do it with whenever you want. The other big thing we're going to incorporate is also easy and secure accumulation via wallets, but also exchanges. You just say, I want $100 of gold, silver, and platinum on a monthly basis. So we're shifting away from the old traditional model when it comes to precious metal, where it was always the case, hey, I buy the metal and I store the metal, to a more 2022 setup of the precious metals industry, where we now say, no, I'm going to actually transfer and earn. I'm going to transact in this product and I'm going to earn yield with it. And that's totally new if it comes to precious metal. And that's the staking, what will be incorporated in the application also. And right now it's already available if you go to DeFi pools that we launched on QuickSwap.
It is really cool. So your solutions are just what the crypto enthusiasts are in the sphere for. It's great.
Exactly.
So Aurus has 4 tokens. Could you give us a brief description and explain what they are?
Yes, this is super unique, of course, because our ecosystem is not one token. It consists of 4 tokens. In that way, we try to replicate the precious metals industry from the traditional way in this new way. It might not even be limited, probably not by 4 tokens, but there will be more because this industry is bigger than gold, silver, and platinum. But these are the ones that are the asset-backed ones that are currently live. All the asset-backed tokens are one-on-one allocated bullion, which is physically redeemable also for the product if somebody wishes to have the metal itself. Then there's Aurus DeFi, AWX, which also trades at CEX at the moment, and we will be adding an additional trading pair on that one very shortly. AWX is quite a unique token because it's our project token. It makes the system self-sustaining. AWX derives rewards from the ecosystems itself. It has a limited hard-capped supply of 30 million tokens. And if you now have the gold, silver, and platinum tokens, and you see, for instance, the pools on QuickSwap or the allocations in the app, every time these tokens are transferred, it generates fees. These fees are disproportionately settled between the holders of AWX and the providers of the bullion in the ecosystem. For instance, at the gold product, if Aurus Gold is traded, 50% of the fees generated go to the AWX holders. 50% goes to the provider of the bullion, for instance, lying at the Bursa Istanbul. Silver has 30% going to the AWX holders, 70% to the provider, and platinum also 30-70%. So if you hold this AWX and you stake it in our new app by clicking earn, after the period of time, you start generating this revenue. So you see in your app your balance of AWX, and on a frequent basis, it pops up new gold, silver, and platinum tokens because you are a participant in the Aurus ecosystem holding the Aurus DeFi token. The other thing that Aurus DeFi will introduce is some governance rights in the future, because we can do so much more with this token, and also have the community more involved in the direction of the Aurus ecosystem and where we need to go with Aurus. We, of course, have a traditional background in precious metals, and we have the knowledge also of the market, but we don't know everything. We want to involve our community in Aurus also, by telling us what great ideas they might have. So the Aurus DeFi is a very unique token. There's nothing out there like it at the moment, and definitely not in other precious metals backed projects who have a centralized solution and actually take the revenue and the reward for themselves.
Thanks a lot for this description. So it is actually what is really called a well-thought ecosystem. Great. It's very exciting to hear about the upcoming Aurus version 2 launch later this month. Can you tell us what this update means for Aurus?
The V2 is by far the biggest upgrade we did. We started already planning more than a year ago on what it needs to entail. Dan has been leading the development for the past 9 months, and it's the biggest upgrade with many exciting features in the ecosystem. It isn't just a rebranding of our product, because it will have a new website, it will include a new app, but the most interesting part, it will be a multi-chain solution where we have the payment channel integrated on Polygon, which is already operational. Which will allow for frictionless trading, and actually also for the reward system to be introduced, because it will be activated for the first time. So people holding the Aurus DeFi token on Polygon and use it in the app on the earning button can now have these revenues, can enjoy these rewards being paid out in gold, silver, and platinum. Also, it will integrate the new Aurus Vault card, which is essentially a super secure wallet, and can be used via near field communication with the app, but also with the upcoming POS terminals. The other part of the Aurus V2 is, of course, DeFi, and that is that we are now for the first time setting up DeFi pools, letting people actually earn yield on their precious metals holdings by staking their position. And this will be incorporated, of course, with a lot more features in the coming weeks and months, as it will not be it will be the big launch, but not the only update on the app and the website.
Thank you. Indeed, great updates, and we are really glad to hear them from the first hands. As you mentioned, Aurus is launching the new version of the mobile app soon. What are the upgrades we can expect?
Well, for the users, they have been waiting for this quite some time, the new Aurus app, because the most important integration is Polygon, and CEX will probably will also integrate Polygon, and it's important because it will take away the high gas fees on Ethereum that we and other projects have been experiencing. So now users will be able to make a wallet super easily, secure it on their iPhone or Android phone, link the Aurus Vault card, use the Aurus Vault card, send tokens, deposit tokens, swap tokens between each other. And also the app will be in multiple languages, have the earn features integrated in it, a super nice UX overview. It will be, I suggest everybody just download it, have a view. It's, in my opinion, the coolest precious metals app on the market, will be on the market nowadays. And it's actually an app for our providers, for the market itself. It's brought to you by the market participants. It has global liquidity and a global spread network of brokers and vaults. It's the coolest update on the app by far.
Sounds fantastic. I'm sure Aurus fans are excited. What is the strategy behind Aurus becoming a multi-chain platform, by the way? Why is Polygon Network?
Well, we started on Ethereum, and Ethereum is fine, but we already noticed with our brokers also that it's very difficult sending small positions to clients when gas fees are $100. or Guay or anything in this region. So Polygon is one of the solutions we're now going to approach as a multi-chain. This is a level 2. We're also going to be integrating new level 1 layers, where in the end you want a routing system where the order will always be routed via the most efficient layer available. The other thing why Polygon is so important is that the reward for AWX cannot be paid on Ethereum, because if we have a 100-gram transaction and the fees generated from that transaction, if you pay that on Ethereum, the gas fees will be higher than the reward that needs to be paid. So that's why Polygon was needed for this fee to actually not only to be launched but to exist. And the same goes for the Polygon network, also for what we do on CEX. We will have the Polygon integration on our tokens there also. So people can buy gold, silver from CEX, send it to a DeFi pool, earn yield on it, or buy AWS on CEX, send it to the app, push the earn button and start taking their rewards in gold, silver, and platinum.
Thank you. And could you tell us a bit more about the Aurus ecosystem token, AWX, and how it derives its value actually?
Well, like I said before, the revenue, the reward sharing mechanism will be activated once the app goes live, because it's already active on Polygon, and then we will allow our clients to send their AWX to the Aurus app wallet, press the earn button, and there will be a cap table automatically generated at the end of the period, and then the rewards will be distributed over the staked AWS. So for instance, if there's 1 million of AWX staked in the app and the other 29 million is not staked, that means the 1 million staked AWS will get the rewards from the Aurus ecosystem transactions. The transactions in the ecosystem consist of what the transferability amount is of gold, silver, and platinum tokenized, so AWG, AWS, and AWP. There's also the minting fee, because our providing partners, the gold brokers, will put the gold in the vault, or silver pay 0.5% over the amount in fees as a tokenization fee to enter the Aurus ecosystem. That is a fee that goes into the AWX pool. There's some storage fees related to silver and platinum, which will go to the AWX pool. So it's very important that if you want these rewards to earn these rewards in gold, silver, and platinum, that you take your AWX, put it in the app, and stake it, and then just wait how your passive income will come in these in gold, silver, and platinum.
Awesome, it's clear now. Thank you. And the last question from us: what can we expect from Aurus in the near future?
Well, this week is going to be a big week, definitely, because we on Friday we launched did first DEX pools on a quick swap, which are filling up quite quickly already in a very short period of time. We have the Dubai Precious Metals Conference this week. The directors, me, Jonathan, and Mark, will be attending the conference over here. We have a lot of our partners here in Dubai at the moment, doing a lot of meetings. We will actually expand with the V2 going live. All our 25 partners, being brokers, vaults, etc., will start trading instantly when the V2 will be launched, which is now only one broker or two brokers are actually transferring tokens because of the Ethereum high gas fees. So there will be a severe impact on transactions when V2 goes live. CEX will list Aurus Platinum at a certain point against the dollar. We will have the gold token being traded at the British pound on CEX probably already this week. AWX also against the dollar. That will commence also somewhere later this week or next week. The V system, the reward-based system, of course, is activated, which is super exciting. We will expand our local hub system by expanding our centralized exchange strategy into Turkey, Latin America, and Southeast Asia, where we already have multiple talks with to offer people local onboarding and offboarding in their fiat currency that they wish. We have some tier A exchanges lined up once the TVL hits a certain level on our DEXs, and we currently have the staking of precious metals is also live. You can check on a quick swap in Moon Farm Finance where this is happening right now, and that's very important that Aurus is really embracing DeFi also in the going forward in the future. With the new pools going live on AWX today, the pools for gold going live very shortly, and of course expanding our partnership beyond that with CEX by adding more liquidity, adding more trading pairs, staking, etc. I mean, CEX has been a great partner for us since we started and launched on their exchange. So there's a lot to come and to expect from Aurus. Have a look at the Aurus DeFi token, the interest reward based one. Have a look at the Aurus card, which is a super slim card, beautifully designed, and works in tandem with our application. I think from what I heard from Dan, the app will probably be accepted somewhere later this week, hopefully already tomorrow. So I think we can drop a message somewhere maybe in the Telegram here, and you can people can download it, have a look at it. It has an integration with CEX Direct, so from within our app actually you can purchase tokens directly from the CEX exchange. So that's also quite a nice integration. And yeah, I would say bring it on 2022.
Awesome. Thanks a lot, Guido, for sharing all these insights with us and our community. And of course, CEX.IO is also looking forward for a fruitful cooperation with Aurus. Okay, guys, our members, community members, it's time to ask some questions. I hope you've prepared something. So you have like 10 minutes to ask questions in our community, and I'll tell them, so we'll receive the replies.
Okay, perfect.
Guys, you may just write your questions in our community in CEX.IO official group, and I'll ask them, Guido. Guys, you have a unique opportunity to ask questions, so don't miss it. We are waiting for them in our community, in CEX.IO official group. Just drop them there. And while we are waiting, I'm willing to tell you that we'll share this recording, our AMA session with Aurus recording, to our social network. So if you joined late or just missed some parts, you'll have a chance to listen to the whole AMA session once again. Don't be shy and just ask anything you want to know about Aurus. All right, so good question. Where do you see Aurus in 5 years, Guido?
In 5 years, yeah. Well, definitely a good question. I think the most important part is that we, in a digital way, we can not compete, but actually expand from the traditional market. And that's definitely where DeFi is bringing us at the moment. I think looking at size-wise, there are targets in place where the gold industry is a $72 billion a day business. If you look at the London bullion market and the CME markets, if we just try to get 5% of that market in the digital way, I think that's quite a nice goal for the next 5 years. And it's definitely something we put in our models.
Thank you. Glad to hear. All right, another question. What are the main factors for Aurus tokens price growth?
Well, if you look at the stable coins, so for instance, the Aurus Gold, the gold back one, it's of course market conditions. If you look at current inflation numbers, US, Europe, gold is a traditional hedge against inflation, and the price appreciation in gold and silver in the past week is a reflection on that truth. So our own models, and I'm talking personally, I believe the gold price will double within the next 12 to 18 months. Silver might even triple. This is also because of the nature of silver not only being an asset that is being bought alongside gold as an inflation hedge, but also the usage of silver in industrial metals. And if you look at the current switch into the green energy, silver plays a big part in this development, not as only as a conductor, but also as one of the most important elements used in solar panels. If you then look at RSD-Fi, if we look at our goals from the last question for the next 5 years, and our precious metals backed tokens will be, and also aligning the current partners that we have, and even expanding far beyond that, I mean, RSD-Fi can potentially be a 10-bagger.
Thank you. Another question. Are you planning to integrate any other metals in the ecosystem?
So, sorry, can you repeat the question, please?
Yep. Are you planning to integrate any other metals in the ecosystem?
Absolutely. We have. I had last week here in Dubai some talks with a representative from a specific country. They also want to tokenize a certain commodity, which we have been negotiating now. If you look at metals, you can tokenize copper. We have been in talks with the LME group on this part also. Of course, it will be done gradually, because we also need to see how the market is there, and if the market is going to be retail or the market is going to be institutional. Because any product you can build on top of the Aurus ecosystem needs to have the right user group and use case behind it, of course.
Great, thanks a lot. And I've got two last questions from some shy community members who don't want to write to the group, but they sent the questions privately. So, Guido, in your opinion, do you have any major competitors? And if so, what are your strong sides?
If you look at competition just on the asset-backed token, yeah, there are multiple other gold-backed projects. But then again, they all have a centralized approach where they mint and trade the tokens themselves and are the custodian of the underlying asset. So in that sense, they are not really competitors. Ours is a member-based association. We are empowered by the industry of the same industry we empower with our products. So we are the advocate for the industry itself, and this industry is big, and we already have the support if you look at our partners in place. So as the standalone association, there's not really, we have maybe colleagues in this industry with the London bullion market and the DMCC, which do a similar setup that we do, but then for the traditional market.
All right. So I think that's it for the questions. We need now to finish our AMA session. A big thanks to Guido and the answers. And we also want to thank you guys for your questions, for your attention. The best questions will be selected soon. And stay tuned. Thank you for being with us. Goodbye.